In today's video, I'm going to share with you a real simple tip that transformed my driving. Make sure you check out this video. Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me in our indoor golf studio, and today's video, as I mentioned there, is how I transform my tee shots, my driving ability. I had a couple of years really struggling with the driver off the tee. Unfortunately, I'm not really getting a chance to play a lot of golf right now, but I want to share with you what I did a couple of years back when I was really struggling with the driver off the tee that's going to help your game. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. At least 2 instructional videos a week. In the info for me, just coming on the bottom of the screen right now. So what we're going to be discussing here, as I mentioned there in the intros, is committing to the driver. Now, I had a couple of years of really driving the ball poorly, and I was starting as a head pro at Drayton Park Golf Club, very tight tree-lined course, and I was really worried about using the driver. First couple of games I played, kind of captain pro matches, this kind of thing, I was just scrambling. Luckily, my short game was pretty good, but I was struggling to hit the driver off the tee. And what I found really worked for me was committing to it, was actually caring a little bit less about the direction and trying to put a bit more speed into it. I found that I was starting to steer the golf ball too much, being a bit too careful. I was actually better on creative holes where I had to hit a draw or fade with a dog leg. I was finding it harder on the straighter holes and the holes that I didn't like visually. So what I had to try and do is pick, I understand there is negative. I've chosen here the par 5, a 6th hole at Pebble Beach. And I've chosen this because it's quite a tight fairway. There's water right, there's bunkers left. There's a lot of trouble out there. And it's a tee shot that really needs committing to. So what I'm trying to look at here is, where do I want to hit it? I'm accepting there's water right, I'm accepting there's bunkers left. Obviously the better miss would be left rather than right. There's nothing wrong with accepting that. But then really focus on what you actually are trying to achieve. You don't want to come out with negative thoughts all the time, especially outward negative thoughts to your playing partners, putting yourself down. Try and focus on what you are trying to achieve. And if you miss a fairway, you miss a fairway. See it as a challenge to really show off scrambling skills, short game ability. But as I said, I found that the harder and the more committed I was, the better I was starting to hit it, the straighter I was trying to hit it. Now, this does not mean I was making swings where I was, falling over outside of my boots. But we really want, and I think when you look at the majority of tour players, we would say they're swinging at around 85%. But when they really want to give one a go, they're cranking up to 90, 95+%, and they don't seem to lose a whole lot of accuracy. So yes, they are hitting a lot of golf balls in practice there, but it's showing you that we don't have to be scared and trying to control it the other time. And the other thing that shows you is these tour players know what 100% is. If you do not know what 100% is, how are you going to control it back to 85%? So I want you, and I'm going to hit another one, and this may go wrong. I can't guarantee that I'm going to hit another fairway. 2 out of 2 for me. Doesn't happen a lot these days, but that is a lack of golf, unfortunately. What I want to feel is a commitment if I can get the golf ball on the tee. So find out what 100% is. And you may do this on the, suggest on the range first of all, but find out what 100% is. Really trying to hit it. Okay, so I'm going to look at club head speed after this one. Know what your 100% is, out your boots, really try and generate some speed. And then you can rein that back to a comfortable swing, feeling maybe at 85%. And as I said, focus on, it doesn't matter if we're a little offline, a little bit left or right. There's focus on what we are trying to achieve for it and really commit to our target. So I'm going to try and hit this one harder. I'm going to try and feel a little bit closer to 100%. Oh, hit that one even better. I really don't want to hit another golf shot because that's 2 out of 2, and you can definitely see it has gone further than the last. I have got anyone looking at this going, he doesn't hit it this far. I normally carry the ball about 255, 260. That's flown 271. There is a little bit of downhill help. I haven't changed altitude or wind. It's just a little bit downhill. So I carried that 271, finished at 293. That's a shame. It was actually a misread on the club head speed because it's got my efficiency through the roof at 154. I actually got the ball speed about 150. Now for me to get that, I know I'm swinging at least 105, 106 miles an hour. So if I can get out 150 ball speed, I know I'm getting up to that sort of 106 kind of club head speed, somewhere around that mark, maybe a little bit higher. But that was a longer carry that felt more committed. Find out where your 100% is. So really trying to hit some. If you can take some measurements on a launch monitor and get some club head speed, fantastic. But find out where you are at full pelt. And then you can rein that back into, okay, I'm going to swing at that 85%. The other quick tip I really want you to pick up from this video, it's not a technical video, is accept there is danger, there is trouble, and we could hit it offline, but then focus on a target. Try and pick targets in the distance. There isn't a whole lot here. There's water behind, so I'd have to pick maybe an island or a bunker in the distance, something along those lines. But you try and pick a spot that you want to aim for and commit to hitting it at that target. And the big word there is commitment, okay? I do not want you to go half-hearted into it. I want you to accept you're human. You may hit it offline, but trying to steer the ball down the fairway isn't really going to help anyone. The golfers who often do steer, their lower body tends to shut off and they tend to overuse hands and arms. They tend to struggle with club face control. So they lose distance and they lose direction. So we don't want that. We want to commit to the golf shot. And you may find that you gain a little bit of distance. Even if you are slightly more offline, perhaps you can play from the semi-rough. You know, you look at Bryson DeChambeau these days, going for, well, I'm going to hit it further and have more wedges in. And yes, he's playing a different level to you and I, but committing to the golf shot is the key part here. I'm going to hit one more. I really shouldn't because I've hit 2 fairways, so forgive me if this one misses, but I'm really going to try and go committed again, okay? That last one, it didn't feel out my boots. I was saying I was going to feel 100. It felt like I could play that all day long. So let me give it another go. That might catch the left-hand traps, but I don't think that was miles off. I really don't think that was miles off. Still good distance for me. Finishing out there at 284, may have got a little bit more roll if I hadn't hit the bunker. It wasn't wildly offline. It was 21 yards offline. You've also got to remember, I would say to most golfers, a 10% error is quite livable. Okay, so it tends to be only the world's elite golfers who are getting those sort of 5 to 10% error rates. And what I mean by that is if you're hitting at 250 yards, 25 yards left to 25 yards right, might not sound brilliant, but that's as good as most golfers are, that 10% error. Most people kick themselves when they're 25 yards offline with a driver at 250, but are quite happy when they're hitting a 100-yard wedge shot 10 yards offline and leaving themselves a 30-foot putt. Well, the error was the same. So when we're hitting longer shots, we are going to miss the target a little bit more often. You know, the world's best golfers, what are they hitting really? You know, on average, about 60, 65% of fairways. So don't start thinking you're a ton better than that because you're probably not. And yes, we could try and control it and ease it down there, but people who say that distance isn't important are lying. I want you on a driving range, once you're loose, to find 100%, rein that perhaps back to 85, 90%, swinging committed, but still balanced. And I think you're not only going to hit the ball further, but you're going to find some more fairways and some more enjoyment from your game of golf. If this video has helped, hit the thumbs up, put some comments below of how you guys are getting on and any videos you'd like me to film. Cheers guys, I'll see you next time.